Hello everyone, it's bathrobe time. Yes, I found it. It was hidden in the back somewhere. I didn't have it on since live stream last winter, and it's 17 degrees in here, and I had the heater on for 3 hours, but not on full, just a bit of, it was 13 degrees when I came home today because I was out filming with the ID.7 GTX and did my long distance test today. It was awesome. And then when I came home after dinner, I heated up this in here because when I have the lights on, the heater is not connected. It's not on because I don't want to put another extension thing cable there. Hey Grow M, hey Whittaker, G is here. Tom says he knows stuff about the ID.2 battery. I checked a few sites and couldn't find anything. I don't know where he has that info from, but 56 kilowatt hours, it depends how efficient it is. It could be okay. We'll see. Hi Hank, Hank with H, with an A. But our main topic today is that I have the ID.7 GTX. It's going to be picked up on Thursday again, and there are a few things that I've noticed with the car that makes it less nice as Hank, and we're going to talk about it. And there will be a video as well, more in detail. This is just a bit of blah blah for the beautiful 40, 50, 60, 70 people that we will have here. We're going to go through some news here too. Volkswagen are going to have a lot of competition for ID.2 by the time it's finally released. Yeah, it would be very disappointing if battery sizes are true. I don't think there will be that much bigger because the car is smaller. But again, I have no idea. I don't know this this data that Tom is showing here. I have no idea. Nobody told me, and I haven't found it. I haven't Googled it, but I was on Electrive and I was on, what is it? The American site that's all Tesla, Inside EV. And there was nothing of this. So, but competition is good, that's true. But let's go through some news first. News. Competition can be heard by Volkswagen, always extremely slow to react. It's totally true. That takes some time here. Except with ID Software 4.0 with the preheating of the battery, that they put that as a button in there and shows the data. That's something that came out of nowhere, and I was very surprised about that. That is very future, future pointed. That was very unlike of them. Then the navigation that you cannot select charging network. That was then I get it. That's the normal thing. But first, in Germany, which is not interesting to a lot of people, but our main gas stations on the highway are Tank and Rast. It's just called that. Tank is fueling up and Rast to relax. And they have their own charging company now, Mobility, which is awesome because that means, because they own all the gas stations and the area there, not all, but most of them. So most gas stations that are right on the highway. So not the, we have Autohof, we call them, where you have to get off the highway and then somewhere in that area, could be 500 meters away, sometimes a kilometer away from the highway. That's Autohof and stuff. This is really, you are on the highway, get off, this is your gas station, and they have their own charging thing. So if they put up chargers, they have all the space, so they own the space. It's not, when Ionity wants to create a charger somewhere, they have to ask Tank and Rast, can we put a charger there, and then they have to buy it and everything, and they don't have to do that. So that's very interesting that they want to do that, and let's see, it would be interesting if they will build some. Next, the charging index of the Taycan is here. It's the long distance master. So the ADAC, our German car helper club, whatever, I don't know what do you call it. has tested a lot of cars, not all the cars. They had the ID.7 in there too, but I don't know which version. I guess like Hank, normal ID.7 Pro with a rear-wheel drive, not the big battery, and I don't know what tires, but I don't know from all the cars that they have in there. But the Taycan has higher consumption than a lot of other cars, but it charges the best. Oh, above 300 kilowatt till 60% or so, and then steps goes down. Really amazing, and that's why it's the 300 kilometer in 20 minutes is the goal to charge. If you achieve that, you get a number 1. If you're under this, 0.9 or something. And the old did it, I think, very close. Where are we? It says the number somewhere. It was 1.3 or something. Where is it? Ah, here we are. Taycan did it in 1.28. In 10 minutes, 262 kilometers of real range, real driving range. I don't think this is highway driving. I think this is a mix. When I see that it's not the 130 on the highway or something, but 262 kilometers of range charged in 10 minutes, and the next 121 kilometers in the next 10 minutes. That's pretty cool. The next after this, that's also extremely fast, was the Kia EV9 and the Neo ET5 Touring. EV6 is not in here. The Ioniq 6 was amazing. Where's Ioniq 6? Because they have different classes, so this is the expensive thing, and there was another one too where, yeah, here, this is where the Ioniq 6 wins with 1.15 in 10 minutes, 234 kilometers charged. In the next 10 minutes, 112. And here's the ID.7, which was 0.86 after 10 minutes, 153 kilometers charged, and after the next 10 minutes, 104, because the consumption was higher. And Polestar 2 was better, which is interesting. Really interesting, because in my charging test, Polestar 2, first of all, consumption was higher on everything than ID.7, and charging was good, but not incredible good. So I'm surprised about that. Model 3, right after the ID.7, I'm pretty sure they're almost the same. So I can see that. That's it seems to be accurate there. MG4 and everything in there. That's a great test. I like that. Then EMBW has opened the biggest charging park ever in Hamburg. And what is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 chargers. Each have 2, so 20 charging stalls. Everyone with 200 kilowatt. That is awesome. I like that. I like that. And this is interesting to me. CityWatt, they have a charging location in Posa with 4? Are there 4 chargers? Or are there 3? I can't remember. I did my I did a few videos there. One with Hank. I don't know what I did. One with the Kia EV9. I charged the new Hyundai Kona there. And CityWatt is also around Munich, and they say you can charge with 39 cents per kilowatt hour, but I have to see. You have to have mobile contract with them. Otherwise, it's 59. So, crap. That it. Then I don't know what the ACE is. It's a different auto club for Europe. I had no idea who that is. Then, this is cool. Renault is bringing the R5 Turbo with 500 horsepower electric car. Look at that. I'm sure it's very comfortable. But 500 horsepower, 368. I hope it's all-wheel drive. Does it say it somewhere? But cute. Then, that's bad news. In Zwickau, Volkswagen has the factory where they started production of electric cars. ID.3 came there in the beginning. Now they're producing ID.3 Cupra Born, ID.4, ID.5, and Q4 e-tron. ID.4 is being produced somewhere else as well. Emden, I think. ID.7 is produced in Emden and ID Bus is produced in Hannover, I think. And I think they're starting in Wolfsburg to produce something, but I'm not sure. But in Zwickau, everyone who had a contract that had a limit. So if you have employees that just have a contract, as long as someone is canceling, then it's unlimited. And if you have a contract, okay, your contract is up till next year, and then we're gonna talk about it if we continue the contract. All of those people have been released. 1,000 people. Of course, that's not a great idea till the end of 2025, but they have time to find new jobs, but still not great. It all has to do with not a lot of electric cars are being sold. Then Volkswagen also wants to change the Agentur model. That I think is when car dealers are the only ones who can sell the car. I have to look at that more in detail. I have to look in that. I don't get it. That's okay. Then BYD wants to start a European production in 2025. That is because the EU has started taxing Chinese companies if they bring in cars. Hey, Wolpertinger. And then a lot of Chinese companies are now starting to build their cars in Europe, and that's great. I find it is a great idea. Get more jobs here and they can sell their cars. Nice. Hyundai Insta, it's a tiny little car with tiny batteries like the ID.2, but already coming out, starts at 23,900 euros, which is cool, and a big battery at 25,400. What data do we have? 42 kilowatt hour battery of 49. That's not a lot of difference. What is this? 15%? I don't know. I'm almost 18% more. I don't know if this is weird. If this would be at least 60 or something, I don't know. Huh. And then, of course, with the small battery, you can have different options, and with the big battery, you have more options. That's understandable. Then maybe Volkswagen tries to build the ID Bus also in Poland. Of course, cheaper there to produce, and maybe they want to do that. We'll see if the prices though come to the customer, or they just make more money. We'll see. MG Cyberster can be ordered in Germany now for 65,000 euro. You can get the single motor variant, and for 5,000 you get the dual motor called X Power, which has a lot of power. What is it? Sorry. 250 kilowatt in the rear wheel drive and 375 kilowatt and with 3.2 seconds from 0 to 100. And it has a 77 kilowatt hour battery. WLTP range for the all-wheel drive is 443 kilometers. It's like an ID.3 with a big battery. And rear-wheel drive is 507. That's okay, I guess. And what do we have? Charging power. 38 minutes. In 38 minutes, 54 kilowatt hours go into the battery. I'm guessing that's 10 to 80%. Am I right? But very, very, very nice. I sat in the car, but in a very pre-production car in Munich at the motor show. It's typical MG. Volkswagen is not selling any EVs because 2 years warranty is just too low. Yeah. But it has been normal for all German products forever. So we in Germany are used to that. Everything I buy has 1 year of warranty on the seller side, and then 1 year of warranty where I have to prove that something is wrong. That's very normal for us. So for us, this is just this is how it is. But I get that this is not. But Tesla has the same. I think only Hyundai and Kia, I know they had 5 at some point. I don't know what changed. Then the Ford Puma Gen E has been introduced. Do we have some data? Yes, we have 4-wheel drive with a 123.5 kilowatt motor. 8 seconds from 0 to 100, top speed 160, so like the Volkswagen ID.3 Pro. Double LTP range of only 376 kilometers with only a 43 kilowatt hour battery, and can only charge with 100 kilowatt. That's very like ID.3, my ID.3 back in the day. I was invited to look at the car in Cologne. When was it? 2 weeks ago or so, but I declined because it was just too much of a hassle for an hour that I would have with the car to film the car. So no driving, just a standing car, and I was allowed to film around the car and get the introduction into the car, and then I would have to drive 7.5 hours there and then 7.5 hours back, and that wasn't worth it for me, so I declined. And that's the news. That's it. I don't look at the Ionity map anymore because they changed the website and it's horrible. Also too expensive and bad reliability, very bad service experience with electric cars at the dealership. Also too expensive and bad reliability. Who says bad reliability? Who says that? And very bad service experience, that's different with everyone. I have good experience. Mine is really good. Expensive? Yeah, a Volkswagen costs more than other car, but it also drives significantly different. My 5-year warranty ends in March on my Volkswagen. With the 5 or 7-year warranty from Hyundai Kia, you have to spend money for mandatory service every 30,000 kilometers to not lose it. But Volkswagen, you also have to do the warranty, and it's the service every 2 years. Or was it 3 years in the beginning and then it was 2 years? I know that my ID.7 needs its warranty exactly when I give it back. By the way, today is, I posted on Instagram, today is December 15th. Exactly today, a year ago, I picked up Hank in Wolfsburg. So I have it in my possession. At this moment, a year ago, I was driving back from Wolfsburg, somewhere in between. So Hank has been with me for a year. We have driven, I'm allowed to drive leasing 20,000 kilometers, but we only drove, I have to check, 18,779. So I'm 1,200 kilometers under it. And I'm pretty sure that this year I will drive less. So I did too much. Way too much. Kia 7 years warranty, BYD 6, Tesla 4. Tesla doesn't have 4 in Germany. Tesla has 2 in Germany. I think that's all different in every country, huh? And Kia, as far as I know, has 5. Hyundai and Kia, I thought. Service price at Volkswagen very high, above at BMW it was cheaper. My car was at the service once, it won't go there again because any warranty is already gone. Yeah, when the warranty is gone, then you don't have to go anymore. That's true. You can do whatever you want. That's totally true. Oh. So Hank has been with me for a year. It's cool. Like I said, we talk about the main topic in a second. In a few days, the ID.7 GTX will be picked up again and goes. UK is 3-year warranty on Volkswagen cars. See, it's different everywhere. And then I don't have a press car till this January 23. I get another car right after next weekend, from Saturday to Monday. I have to film a bit there, most of it on the Sunday though, but on Saturday I want to get to know the car. Crossed the 210,000 kilometer mark yesterday. That's cool. My God, you drive a lot. In France, Volkswagen 2, Tesla 4, Kia 7, Hyundai 5. Kia and Hyundai is different. Huh. Drinking rules. And so for 4 weeks I don't have a car. I will make a lot of videos at home or with Hank. That's the plan. But also in between I will be a few days away on holidays, and then there's Christmas and everything. So in those 4 weeks you won't get 5 videos a week like you do now. It will be 3 to 4. But that's okay. I'll survive. And then I have cars from the end of January already booked till middle of April, and I'm tomorrow I will send out emails for more because I need more. I want as many press cards as possible the whole time. But let's talk about the main topic. And there's also an event in February where most likely I will go with the press card that I have there. Patreons and YouTube members already know. They got all the info and they get it first and for a long time. They're amazing. And I don't know if we go with the press card because it will take a while to get there. I have to take this calendar off because it's for 2024. I don't have a 2025 one. I always got it at work, but since I'm not at work anymore, I don't get those calendars anymore. Have to remove it. Oh, you are right. ID cars do drive much better if only warranty was better. But did you have to use the warranty? That's the other thing. It's okay to have long warranty. The question is, does a lot break with outside of the warranty? So I have no idea. Possible. I'm just asking. I have no idea. I don't know if an ID.3 after 4 years a lot of stuff is broken, and on a Hyundai Kona not. I have no idea. I own the cars. I do leasing because of this. I don't want to deal with warranty or with selling stuff. That's why I do leasing. And I know it's not the best environmental friendly. You should buy a car and use it for as long as possible. That would be the best. But I also think that those electric cars that I give back are being used for something else, either for testing purposes or for loaners or for the battery, for battery storage for something, for charger or something. I hope. I don't know. I always want to ask Volkswagen again where Walter is. It's now been a year. Tomorrow, a year ago tomorrow, I saw Walter the last time. We brought it back. I kind of feel like a longer warranty gives buyers more confidence in what they're buying leasing. That's true. They don't have to worry in case something goes wrong. Totally true. That's true. It sounds nice. Warranty for me is always the thing. I don't trust them. We have a coffee maker down there where something broke after 1.5 years, and we have 2 years of warranty. We send it in and they say this is not in warranty. That's your problem. You have to pay for it. That is why you can extend it. And you can extend the warranty on Volkswagen? I have no idea. Maybe. Which makes sense if you buy something like this that looks at. But let's go through the things what the title is today about. I have a Volkswagen ID.7 GTX here now, and I have never driven one. It arrived Tuesday a week ago, so for 10 days ago or so. I have driven almost 1,700 kilometers or so. Put an AirTag on the ID.7 when you give it back after lease, track it for 2 years. It's a good idea. I should have done this with Walter, put it under the carpet or something. But then if they destroy it or something, Denmark Volkswagen only gives 2 years warranty, Hyundai 5 years, and no mileage restriction, Kia 7 years. I'm so surprised that Hyundai and Kia have different things. I had 5 years, cost 550 euros. All together or every year or every month? But that would be okay. Yeah, and so I drove a GTX for the first time. I didn't buy the warranty extension for my ID.3 when I bought it. extending it to 4 or 5 years would cost me 1700 euros now. So it was cheaper in the beginning. You can have up to 3 additional years and up to 150,000 car mounted. Not interesting for me. Huh, I had no idea. Never bought a car. Always leasing. So what was interesting to me of the ID.7 GTX was it's not just like in the ID.4 or ID.5 where you have the exact same car, just another motor in front. No, ID.7 GTX had a lot of differences. One is the suspension is totally different, and I felt a lot of things while driving it, and then noticed a lot of things, and most of the things are negative to me, and that's why I'm happy, like I said in the title, that I didn't go for the GTX, because when I was planning for my next EV after Walter, I thought I want a more comfortable car, I want more power, bigger battery, better charging, better for long distance, because Walter was, you know, not the best, charging with 130 kilowatt peak, and it was over at 30%, and then it went down really fast. In the winter, maybe 200 kilometers of range, and when the heat is on and everything, so you have to charge a lot, it takes a lot of time, and I said I want something better. Good evening, Photostorm. And the other thing was I would like to have all-wheel drive. I only had rear-wheel drive in Walter, and a few times I drove in the snow when there was, I don't know, this much snow on the road, and it wasn't the best grip. Volkswagen is not the best when it comes to drive in the snow. When you floor it and the wheels are spinning, there's no power going to the wheels anymore. So even when you go then a bit of power, and I thought all-wheel drive would be better for that. And then when I decided on the ID.7, I was, will I get the ID.7 right away, or do I wait till the GTX version comes out? The decision was taken away from me when, as usual, the normal ID.7 came out, what was it, October or so in 2023, and the GTX this summer, so it wasn't available yet. It was shown to the world in March or April, the GTX, and then I said I don't want to wait 6 months more. That's just stupid. And now that I have it here, I was worried this would be the most amazing car and I should have waited for it. But like I said, there are a few things that are just negative to me, and that I'm like, I don't know. And a few surprising things as well. So of course it has more power. We now have 250 kilowatt instead of 210, and all-wheel drive. We have a drive mode traction, so when you drive on snow, it will look for the traction, and you can even when it's a bit wet and everything, it's better for this. Sorry. Which is awesome. I went from 3 years in ID.3 Pro Tour S to recently picking up my ID.4 Match Pro. It came with software 5. Very nice and snappy compared with 3.7. Yeah, the hardware is just underneath. It's just 10 billion times better. Yeah, it's not the software, it's the hardware underneath. So how everything is booting up and how it's just, it's really good. And in the last few cars with ID software 5.0, I didn't have any problems. Everything worked. Last time was in a Tourer, I think, where the navigation was gone, the GPS signal. And before in ID.4, both had, did they both have ID software 4 or 5? I can't remember. The first one had 4. I can't remember. But, so of course, power is more, acceleration is more, by 1.2 seconds faster, 0 to 100. But when you are driving, so when you accelerate in the first second, yes, you feel that's way more acceleration. But then when you drive around 50 or when you pass a car, it doesn't feel that much more, which is very interesting. But still, it's more. The traction is nice. But I have noticed that it's nice to have, but I don't need it that much. So right now, I saw it today. This morning, it was snowing. and I wanted to do the long distance test with this car, and I knew it's gonna snow from 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. just for 2 hours, and there was this much snow. But I knew if I want to do the long distance trip, I cannot drive 140 on the highway if there is snow. So I just waited. And I didn't have to go to work. So before, the problem was I have to go to work today. So if there's snow, I have to drive through the snow. Now that I'm self-employed with YouTube, I can say, oh, it's snowing today. I do the test tomorrow or on Thursday or 2 hours later. So I'm a bit more flexible now, and so that all-wheel drive is not the most important. I'm not driving somewhere where there's a lot of snow. So with Hank, I never drove on real snow, maybe on, you know, slush, something like this, but on real snow where I didn't have grip, that didn't exist anymore. Had the chance to drive an Audi A6 e-tron last Friday. That's cool. I didn't, but I will ask tomorrow. Android Auto was awful on 3.7 for me. Constant disconnected audio stuttering. I never had that. No, Android Auto worked from 2.2 or whatever, 2.0. 5 centimeters snow is nothing for you. In other areas, this would be carnage. All depends where. We had a lot of snow last year in September, and then it stayed till January. Then it snowed once more a bit, and it also stayed then till April. This year it snowed once, but not a lot. And now, like I said, today, join Björn in Thailand. Nice and warm there. That's nice. Did you know? Yeah. Did you notice the turning radius? Yeah, we come that in a second. So power is great, but it's not the most important to me. Yes, ID.7 is not extremely powerful. I would say with the weight, it feels the same as an ID.3 Pro. So the GTX ID.3 feels faster, and it is faster, and the performance is even more faster. The GTX here, it had the slowest opening charge port door ever because of... Yeah, that's a bit weird. I'm not a fan of the electric doors. What is this? Just let me open it. Especially when it's frozen in or something. I had that, by the way, in Hank, because it was frozen over to get the charge port open. By the way, a GTX is still charging. We are still 1.5 hours to go. The electric ones are stupid and probably expensive. And you won't spend money on digital mirrors. Yeah, that's true. I wouldn't do that either. It's not that much important, and I don't think it saves that much energy, especially for a car like this. But if it looks cool, if you like that, then I understand it. So, then big battery. GTX has a bigger battery, which is cool. It has more range, even though it has a bit of higher consumption. We did a test, Hank versus this car. We drove a test, and you'll see the video this week. The result was really, really weird, because when we arrived, the consumption shown in the car was not... It was different. Hank had lower consumption, but not that much. They both have the exact same tires, which is awesome. But bigger battery and 2 motors in the GTX. But when we charged back up to 80% like we started, the difference was way more. So the GTX charged more percent difference than the difference in consumption that we've seen. And what we charged seemed like the number that I thought it would be, what I've seen in other cars. And what I thought, bigger battery, what I've tested with the ID.7 Pro S against Hank, and then what I know, ID.4 against ID.4 GTX. So this made way more sense. So I'm scared that the GTX, for whatever reason, shows, or this car, I don't know if it's just this or normal, shows a lower consumption than it has. Maybe. So... yes, you still get more range, but if you get the 20-inch sport tires, it's the same range as my ID.7. So don't get those, by the way. I always say, I do not recommend the 20-inch sport tires. Don't get it all. Next, is the suspension. The ID.7 GTX has a sportier suspension and you feel it. You don't have to be in sport mode when you go around corners. Hank feels okay, but not sporty. So Walter, my ID.3 around corners felt way more nimble around corners and pew, pew, what Cindy always said. In ID.7 it's a bit more, the rear is moving around, you feel that the suspension is comfort, is softer, and in this ID.7 GTX it's better. It feels good, and when you put it in sport mode it's even better. But again, I don't need that. That wouldn't be a reason for me to get this car. When you drive normal and you have it in comfort mode, the suspension is still great. I still think that Hank is a tiny bit more comfy and softer. The same for the loudness. This ID.7 is great. I think it's a tiny bit louder, but not a lot. And I don't. And it's especially when you power a bit, then you have a motor from the front. But yeah, it could also be the glass roof. This has a glass roof and everything. But do you want sporty or the luxury magic carpet ride? Exactly. But I have to say that the ID.7 GTX is not extremely sporty, just a bit more sporty, and you can still drive very comfortably in it, so it's fine. If you don't know what you want, you can go for this car. So this was suspension. Next is the turning circle. Yes, the difference in number is not that big. It's not I don't know the numbers exactly now. I have to look them up when I make the video, but it's not a big thing. It's the same with ID.4 to ID.4 GTX. But when I go out of my parking garage, out of my garage, and then I have to go out, I feel, it's not as much. With a Hank, I would just have gone out like this. Here I have to do, it's a bit, I can still do it, but it's closer. And the worst thing about this ID.7 GTX is how heavy the steering is. This is the first ID that I have driven where the steering is too heavy, even in comfort mode. In sport mode it's even heavier, but the difference is not that much. But steering overall, you feel it's double as heavy as in my ID.7. It's still okay, and it's not as heavy as some other cars, but it's not amazing. I don't like it. It's way too heavy for me, so total down, a big thing for me where I say no, I don't want that. The next is the seats are a bit more sporty. They're not as comfy. It's the same form, but the upholstery in there is a bit harder. You feel that in the corners, that you're a bit more in the seat. And I get it. I get why they do that. But I like Hank's seats way better. And because of this, of the different stuff that's in the seat heater is not that effective. It still gets warm, but Hank's seat heating gets way hotter, way faster, and feels better. So again, down. And Cindy is driving the GTX tomorrow to work because I want to see if she feels the same way. You did the right choice with your ID.7. Electricity, what? Currently no incentives in Germany. No. And next is something that I get and I personally don't use, but it's uncomfortable, and I had it in the Cupra Born VZ as well. When you are in sport mode, regen kicks in. It's the same power of regen, but if you get in B mode off the accelerator pedal, the strongest regen comes in way faster. So let's say you drive a constant speed, you are in B, and then in comfort mode you get off a bit and you get, I don't know, a quarter of regen that's available. You get full off, then you get full. And here, when you are in sport mode in the GTX, when you go off just 10%, you get full regen. It's not incredible strong regen, and if you go off full, it doesn't get stronger. But if you are driving in sport mode and you go around corners, you get that sporty feel that the Born VZ from Cupra had the same thing. Its power is, so the accelerator pedal is also very sensitive. You step a bit on it, you get full acceleration, a lot of torque. You get a bit off, you get full regen. So you get this bit of a sporty feeling. The only negative about this is, number one, on the highway when you drive fast, when you drive 180 top speed and then you have to decelerate just a tiny bit and you want to do regen just a bit, you get full regen and then the car is not unstable, but you get a movement. And if you're in comfort mode, you get just a bit of regen. It feels way better. You have to be extremely sensitive with the accelerator pedal. And when you drive 180 and the street is not perfect, then it's hard to do that because you're moving, digital driving. Will Volkswagen implement camping and dog mode in their ID cars? In the ID.7, when you just go away and you have the automatic locking on, that means that the interior monitoring is automatically off and you have keep climate on for 30 minutes, and then after this you can do it with the app. But other than this, no, they don't have that. And I think Tesla has it, of course, and then a few Chinese brands, but I think that's it. Then nobody else has it. And even I, with 3 cars, I'm fine with this. I'm not leaving the car for the dogs for hours in the car. Half an hour is fine for me. So I don't have a problem with it. I don't need camping mode. I don't know what I do with I don't sleep in the car, but I get if some people need that, but no, so far it hasn't been wanted by too many people. That's why Volkswagen hasn't implemented it. Okay, and the biggest problem with being in sport mode, if you drive a lot in sport mode and then you drive a constant speed, let's say you drive 50 in the city, and then you are right at that point where if you accelerate a bit, you're going too fast, and then when you take it off, you get a lot of regen, you go too slow. So you have to be extremely sensitive, and then you drive like this. It's not a nice, comfortable feeling. So driving in sport mode is really for doing something sporty. But the doggos need Netflix while they wait. Oh yeah. Oh yes, I want to do the air console test this week. I have never tested it. I did it once, connected my phone as a controller and tried it. I had it in 3 cars that I had from Volkswagen and always forget. But this week I want to make a video. They also added a new game this week, so I want to try this out and see how those games are and how you can do that. Just use cruise control. Ah, yeah, if you are in the city, that's hard to do. If there are no lines and everything. And you have to go often there. If it's not, if you just drive a few hundred meters. But I get you. You're right. I use cruise control all the time. But if it's just 500 meters in a city, I don't. But again, you don't drive with sport mode there. You shouldn't use it there. That's what I found out. It charges a bit better. That was cool, especially today. I did the preheating and everything. But overall, like I said, the seats, the steering, that's why I wouldn't get a GTX. And the power, yes, it's a bit more, but not, I don't know. If they would put the APP 550 motor in the front and in the back, 420 kilowatts, and the battery could do that, that would be interesting as a sporty car. This GTX is like, yeah, it's okay. So you have 40 kilowatt more. Yeah. I didn't find it, don't find it too. Do you know if your ID.7 will get software 5.0? I hope, but I have no idea. So far, I asked someone at Volkswagen this, and they didn't know. It has been a year that my ID.7 did not get an update. And who knows when over-the-air update is coming. ID Software 5.0 has been shown to the world in March and has been implemented in new cars since the summer. I still am at 4.0. It's not horrible. There are a few bug fixes that 4.0 still has. Will it get 5.0 before it goes back to the lease company? That's the bigger question. That is so correct. I hope so, but I don't know. Do you know how was the subwoofer at the back of the GTX? It's the same as, the sound system is exactly the same as in other ID.7. There's no difference. The subwoofer in the Volkswagen cars is not very powerful. So when I'm listening to music and I turn the subwoofer, in the EQ, you can put the subwoofer up. It's barely noticeable. It's a bit there, but not, oh my God, now it's a different sound. So it's not the biggest thing. And I have the premium sound in Hank. It sounds good, it sounds very neutral, but if you want, this is not the sound system. But I like it, it's very neutral, that's my thing. Yeah, a year Hank, I already made the video about Hank and ID.7, but I still want to make a video a year with an ID.7 and do degradation test next week. No, next weekend I can't, because I have a different car from a local dealership, and then the week after. But isn't it Christmas? Who cares about Christmas? Not a fan. I think on the weekend of the 28th, 29th on the Sunday, maybe I do the degradation test. Yeah, something. The woofer is in the back seat, just tend to snore and not play music. No, the woofer is in the trunk in the bottom. It's when you open the extra thing. Is the app great for controlling the ID cars? I would buy a ID bus if camping mode was available. I don't think that ID bus has anything else. It doesn't. I don't think it has camping mode. But you can have an outlet. And I don't know if you can change it. That there's always power. The app, I made a video about it. Hasn't changed that much. That's the app. Where are we? That's the ID.7 GTX in the garage, charging right now. I arrived with 6%. You can preheat the car. It will be on for 30 minutes. You can lock it, unlock, set departure times. By the way, I have to set departure time for Cindy tomorrow. Monday, when she goes home. 14, 15, save, on. That's it. Woofers, doggos. Ooh, yeses. I didn't get that. Sorry. Sorry, I am a big bass head and will probably change the stocks up in the ID.7 GTX, waiting on delivery for something more powerful anyway. Good luck with that. For more sporty car, Volkswagen expects you to buy Audi. I get it too. They have their brands. ID.3 looks a bit boring, but it runs very well. The best ID segment car for me is the ID Bus. It looks great and drives very well. But your range goes down because of the gigantic space, especially when you heat up the whole thing. I'm still trying to get a bit late to do the party tonight. That's okay. We're ending soon. Because I filmed later today. But by the way, the ID.7 GTX did 606 kilometers or something today in 5.5 hours in the winter. 1.5 degrees. Road was always wet. Heat at 24 or 24 degrees. Wasn't warm in the car, as with all ID.7s. It rained 30% of the time and it was 100% wet. Yes, I know. The robe is back and it's nice and warm. 16.6 degrees in here. It's freezing. So I was very surprised and happy. Charging was amazing today in the GTX. Let's look. How did I charge? First thing I think was 15 to 52%. How long? What did I charge? I charged nothing. Yeah, it didn't work. It was annoying. I charged in 14 minutes 42.5 kilowatt hours. Then I charged. When I charged Ionity in Himmelkron, that was nice. Haven't been there in a while. Charging plan. Where is my charging sessions? There it is. On the go. I charged 46 kilowatt hours in 16 minutes at Ionity. And then I charged again at EMBW, but just for a few minutes. Where are you? 65 kilowatt hours in 21 minutes. That's, what is that? Let's check. 65 divided by 21 times 60. An average of 185. That's pretty good. That is pretty good. But I think Taycan does better. Where's Finnegan? Finnegan is not with us anymore. Finnegan is is living somewhere else now. He has a new home. Where are we? Where's EMBW charging station charging history? Here. Today I charged 25 kilowatt hours in 9 minutes. Oh, that's okay. That is okay. Yo. Yeah, that was me. Now it's up to you. A new home. Why? He wasn't happy here. He was alone. He had a cat friend before, and the cat friend sadly didn't make it. But for Taycan, you have to be a playboy. And so he was very unhappy here, and a lot of times alone when we were at work. And he didn't want to cuddle with the dogs. He wasn't a fan, so he was very sad, and that's why he has a new home since April, by the way. I said that many times before. That's not news. And he now is with many other cats, and he's very happy. So that's what we wanted for him. Cuddling with other cats and stuff, that's what he needed, and that's good. That's good. In his old years, he should be a happy cat, and we couldn't have that here anymore, sadly. He's happier now, and that's good. Anything else? Otherwise, I will finish for today. We did 50 minutes. Are there any questions, any suggestions? This week there will be videos with the ID.7 GTX against Hank. Then what we talked about today, why I did not wait for the GTX, and I was right. Then we have the long distance trip that's coming, and a review overall. The light game, that's true. We should play the light game. That's a great idea. If you're new here, you 81 people that are watching right now, every live stream we do a like game. I count down from 3 to 0, and then everybody presses the like button on this live stream and YouTube at the same time. So get your out, if you watch this on your smart television and there you cannot like or something, get your phone or your tablet, go on the stream, and we all like the stream at the same time. I already liked it with all my accounts, 5 before we started, because I was here and waiting. I was done too early, but I didn't want to. I could have started right at 7. I was already here, but it would have been weird when people thought it's starting at 20 after 7, because I didn't know. So let's play that. I'm counting down. 3, 2, 1, and like. Let's see, we have 30 likes right now, 79 people here. You crazy. I am crazy. I see the countdown right now. This is how much delay there is. 0. There, like. 32 likes. 33. 46. Thank you very much for participating in the nice like game. Tomorrow for me it's office day. I have to write a lot of emails. I want to write Ellie if they want to work with me with a Volkswagen charger. They have a new charger now, and I want the one where I would like that, because maybe I buy it anyways if they don't want to work with me. Thank you, Photostorm. because I think I need a charging station in my garage if I charge a press car or a Hank for a thing. Then I can show the tax office here. This was charging was for commercial use, not for private use. I think I will do that. And yeah, then I want to ride Audi for a lot of cars, Q4, A6, e-tron GT if they want to give me the cars, and ENIAC, Elrock, exactly. Any news on when you might get an Elrock test car? I haven't even asked Skoda yet. I will do that tomorrow. You should tell them to make the tariffs more attractive. I think that has nothing to do with them. It has to do with everyone else. So if other charging networks want this and this amount, if you charge, they have to put the price up. That's very easy. If you only have Ionity in there and you can't charge anywhere else, it could be cheaper. Can you make a video where you talk to ID car owners about their experiences with the car? Problem with that is it the 150 kilowatt charging pole? I don't get it. I don't get it. The problem is I don't know a lot of ID owners, and if I send out who wants to do something with me, a lot of times nobody's writing back. They don't care. So if I'm on a lot of Facebook groups for ID.7, ID.3, ID Drivers Club, and when I have something, hey, who wants to do a drive with me? And most people don't want to. The LE charger is a 150 kilowatt charging pole. Oh, you mean the DC charger? So yeah, I will ask them too, but I doubt that I can use that here. You know, the what's the name? The DC chargers you can have house, car. Come on, bi-directional charging. I doubt that even works here. Hi Chris, really enjoying your videos. Any update on the ID.2? Will you get to see it next year? Also called FlexPole. Yes, the battery thing. Thank you very much. As far as I know, there is no update. Today someone posted the battery sizes, but I googled it on the normal electric car sites and there was nothing. But I'm always late with news when it comes to this. Volkswagen is not telling me anything unless they're inviting me to something or there's a press release, so I don't know anything earlier. Your house has 150 kilowatt power? No. 22? As every normal house, not factory, industrial. So I don't have any news on the ID.2. I know when it's expected to be released, and I'm sure there are gonna be press events with the ID.2 in 2025. So when the car is done, and then maybe even the driving event, we'll see, and maybe even the release in 2025. We'll see about that. I'm not sure if this is my next car. It looks very interesting in the way, yes, it's a downgrade from ID.7 to ID.2, but it's a lot of people will be interested because it's a cheaper model. Or my next car will be not an Volkswagen at all. I have no idea yet. I have another year to find out what my next car will be. Okay, I say thank you very much for being here. We did a nice hour. I hope you have a nice week. And maybe I see you next weekend, because on next Sunday, what am I doing? Oh no, I'm doing a lot of tests with this one car. I'm not sure if I will be here. Maybe, but I can only do one range test. I cannot do two, since it's from a dealer. They don't let me drive that much. I wonder what power my garage has. The garage has car elevator that uses a lot of power. Cool. Okay, I'm gonna go now and say goodbye. Have a great Christmas. It's next week. It's not now. Come on. But maybe we'll don't see each other. That's true. That's totally true. Yeah, have a nice Christmas. I'm not the biggest fan, but don't let me tell you what to think. It's just my opinion. Who cares? Bye. Where's my intro? There it is.